Randy might be hurt. Randy trying to close in though now. And he goes down. He's down. And Chuck Liddell. Oh, he is out. Chuck Liddell, champion of the world. Randy Couture is out.
Oh, and that's it. That's all it takes from him. It's one shot.
It's the round. My goodness. Now he's got the back.
Now. That's it. He's got the chain.
Diaz.
He's out.
He has done it. Nick Diaz beats Conor McGregor.
We had another one of those cards where it might not have the name value in the obvious, huge card potential at UFC Vegas 31, but it was another one that was highly entertaining, and we saw a lot of good stuff on the prelims. We saw some huge knockouts. We saw a great fight between Billy Q and Gabriel Benitez, where, for most of it, Gabriel Benitez looks like one of those, torso punching bag kind of things. That's what he reminded me of. We saw Jeremy Seabrans get shut the hell up. Misha Tate looks like she hasn't missed a single day in the octagon. Then also Islam Makachev does Islam Makachev things. And then also, ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge card coming up this weekend. UFC Vegas 32. It got pushed back. We finally get this fight. Corey Sandhagen versus the Snake in the Grass, the CEO of EPO, TJ Dillashaw, and that's probably the greatest nickname that Colby Covington has ever come up with. But Blake, after this is solid UFC Vegas 31 card, and we're in the fight week for this another really great card on paper, and probably what's going to be played down in the octagon, how are we feeling today?
Feeling good, man. It was an entertaining weekend, ready to get up and going for this next weekend coming up, because there's quite the crazy bantamweight fight going down on Saturday.
Oh, there's some good stuff going on. But of course, I'm your host, Ross Allen, joined alongside by the fourth and long UFC correspondent Blake Campbell, and we're ready to get right into things, and also sick ahead when we get to the Islam Makachev versus Chiago Moises fight, so we can give you we're just going to matchmake the lightweight division. And we got some real fire stuff we threw back and forth before recording. So trust me, Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, Dana White, hire us, please, because we would make the UFC a better place. Also, it's because my Endeavor stocks are in the shitter right now. So obviously we need to find a way to up those. Blake, you feel me? You bought more in stocks than I have too. It's not looking great.
Yeah, it's gone down a little bit, but we're in for the long haul.
Yeah.
We're not in for a quick turnaround. We're in for the long haul.
This is not a pump and dump, man. I am with you. I'm going to be an owner of the UFC for a while now, okay? Whether you like it or not, Dana White. So, partners, help me help you. But let's hop into things. UFC Vegas 31. Just some fights I want to shout out. Of course, is going to be Billy Quarantillo against Gabriel Benitez. Quarantillo put on an ass-kicking performance. And then shout out to Blake for his getting replied to on Twitter by the man, the myth, the legend. And so if you want to do us a favor, go ahead and retweet our tweet, retweet Blake's tweet, but you can follow us at Fourth Long Radio. And also try to maybe just send him another because we're trying to get an interview with that man. And that would be some really great stuff. I'd love to bring that to you. Then also another stuff on the prelims, Daniel Rodriguez with a great performance against Preston Parsons. He might give himself a top 15 fight. And then Malcolm Gordon possibly saving his spot on the UFC roster with his win over Davician Figueiredo's brother, Francisco Figueiredo. But the first fight I want to hone in on is Alan Bedoe and Rodrigo Freya, because this was a tale of two very, very different rounds. In the first round, it looked like it was all Alan. Then in the second round, it was Rodrigo pulling a huge comeback and getting the knockout. And this looked like it could have been about a 10-8 round. And then the guy that got 10-8'd goes out and gets the knockout. So I thought this is a really great way to start off the card.
Yeah, it was awesome. I couldn't believe, just kind of the teeter-totter that we saw going into the second round. I mean, I feel like everyone thought that fight was over for the most part.
You could have arguably called in some places in the first round.
But yeah, to see Fajeda get in there and get the finish, no, that's just impressive, man. I can't even put into words. After getting your butt kicked like that for 5 minutes and then going out there and getting the finish, that's awesome.
That's some really solid stuff right there. I mean, that's all heart and determination. And in the way that he was getting pieced up, he started to piece up Allen and got the KO in that way, man. It was a crazy fight. That if you want to talk about a crazy quick KO, let's talk about Amanda Limas and Monstera Ruriz, because Limas makes extremely quick work of Ruriz in this one. Gets a 35-second knockout, and there's a couple things to talk about here that, besides just a really fantastic knockout, the highlight reel knockout. First off, there was some controversy a little bit with the stoppage, because it was one of those quick stoppages where she gets knocked down, took like a punch or two, and then they stopped it. But then Ruiz pops right back up, gets her hands up, and is ready to go, at least seemingly ready to go. And then after the fight, Limas's translator cuts one of the best promos I've seen all year long. So just real quick, what did you think about the stoppage? And also, did Limas really say that, or was her coach just trying to say some words in that one?
The stoppage, I think, was pretty fair. I think Limas was going to piece her up regardless, and she looks like some refreshing new blood to the strawweight division. You know, it's going to be
much needed.
It's going to be nice to see her go up into the rankings. You know, maybe towards the top 10. I mean, she could really face anyone in the top 10 at this point, I think, unless I don't know what her ground game is like, but if it's anything like her stand-up game, she's a killer. But for her manager, I think it's Waleed, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Waleed.
Not the biggest fan of that dude. I think he's kind of a cornball.
He's entertaining.
But you got to give the guy props. He definitely got people's attention. He got people talking about his fighter that he's helping out. So, I mean, props to him for doing that. Do I think that he word for word translated everything she said? Probably not. He probably embellished a few things here and there. I don't know. He said what he needed to say. I'm sure she didn't hate anything that he had to say. So, because he basically called out like all the top,
everyone,
like anyone that's going to get her close to a title shot. So,
right. It was well done. I'll give you that. Yeah, like
it was intense for sure. It was intense.
It kind of caught me off guard. I saw this knockout. I was like, and then I think I was more hyped up not after the knockout, but after the promo.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that guy definitely knows how to get people's blood boiling.
He did a good job, man. That's all you can say. We all wish we could have a hype man like him. But in the main card, we have a few fights that we really need to look at besides Billy Q. Let's look at Jeremy Stephens versus Matthias Gamrot, because Gamrot gets a really quick finish to Jeremy Stephens and locks in a Kimura. And just real quick, I feel like we never see Kimuras.
Well, I feel like we see them, but they know how to defend it pretty well now. And I've seen him
never see Kimura finishes.
You don't see finishes, but you do see him used a lot for like transitions or maybe like counters almost to like make someone, reverse the position basically, especially if you're on bottom. I've seen that a lot. But yeah, I mean, it was weird because Stephens, I think, was actually going for the Kimura first because Gamrot shot on him like almost instant. I think there was maybe 2 strikes thrown from both of these guys.
Yeah.
And he gets the takedown, and I want to say Stephens was thinking about going for a Kimura, but couldn't pull it off, and then ends up getting Kimura himself. So it was kind of weird to watch.
It's a slick reversal at the least, though. And this happened just a minute into the first round. Gamrot now moves to 19-1 in his professional MMA career. He is now 2-1 in the UFC. He lost his debut in the promotion, but he now has 2 nice back-to-back wins. And against solid guys, I mean, Jeremy Stephens isn't really a pushover. And this is just the first time since 2009 that someone's been able to manage to submit Jeremy Stephens. And so let's take a look at what might be next for this guy, because he's certainly probably going to go getting close to that top 15 here in that featherweight division. So do you think it's time for a top 15 fight for him? Is
That's
it
going to be in the lightweight
early?
division.
Oh, sorry, excuse me, the lightweight division. Thank you, Blake. That's why you're
Got
here.
you.
So, are we getting close to that top 15? Are we at that top 15? Or on like that fringe fight where if he gets a win, then he'll get the top 15. And of course, with the lightweight division, it's going to be tough either way to be one of the best 15.
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely. I think he's proven now that he just beat a guy with a big name. Why don't you give him a guy with a number now? He just beat up Jeremy Stevens in a minute and 5 seconds. So yeah, I say why not give him a guy that's right there near top 15, maybe number 15 through 12 if anyone's available at this time. I'm not sure. I don't have the rankings pulled up. I have to do it right now.
Right now, if you want to take a look at 11 to 15, we got Kevin Lee, Diego Freya, Brad Riddell, Chiago Moises, and Armand Sakarian. So, Armand might be there. Moises, after his loss to Islam Makachev, might be there. If you want to see where Kevin Lee fits into all this, I think that might be a little bit of a jump. Also, Kevin Lee's looking more for welterweight right now anyway. But he's still in the lightweight rankings. And I'm not really surprised. Are you surprised John Jones is number 1 pound for pound? Hasn't fallen in a long ass time. So, UFC rankings are a little bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, give him a guy with a number. That's all I got to say. Brad Riddell, Sarukian, any of those guys. Moises, I don't know. It's usually better matching guys up. I want to say the UFC usually matches guys up wins and wins if possible, losses and losses if possible.
But in terms of a fight, what we'd seen in the Octagon, that him and Brad Riddell would be pretty damn exciting.
Brad Riddell and almost anybody besides, someone that's just going to lay and pray.
Not Islam Makachev.
I'm not saying Islam because
exactly. We'll be able to
delve, in my book.
Right? We'll be able to delve a little bit more in the main event. He is not like Khabib, but maybe not in the way that you would think, or at least that a lot of people are thinking. But on the other side of the coin, we have Jeremy Stevens, and so what do we do with him now? Because he now he's a UFC record holder, Blake, and he holds the record for the most UFC losses. He now has 18. He has 19 losses on his record. Just one of them happened outside the promotion. He's been with the promotion for a long ass time, which is he's one of those longest tenured guys on the roster, is what it seems like. But he's now also has 5 losses in a row, albeit to some high level and some killers. He's lost to Jose Aldo, Zabit 2 times. As one was a no contest and then a natural loss. There is Zaire Rodriguez and Calvin Kattar, and now Matheus Gamrot. So, does he still have a place in the UFC? Do you still want him to be there? Also, just another reason why Conor McGregor officially killed his career.
I don't know. He did pretty decent after Conor. He had a little run again there in the featherweight division. Remember, he beat up our boy Josh, so that kind of sucked.
That was his last highlight, and that was I hate remembering that because I look at that.
Josh dropped him that fight too, man. I was like, yes, and then it was over.
Speaking of which, another UFC talk, another time I'll mention that I need Josh Emmett back in my life. Please get in the Octagon again.
Right? I mean, that's our weekly shout out. So.
Hey, but if you look at one of the most underrated coaches in all of MMA, especially in boxing, Coach Joey Rodriguez of Team Alpha Male, big shout out to him. Had an interview with him a while ago. He was our second interview that we had on this channel. But he's been posting clips of him and Josh Emmett hitting the pads because if you listen to that interview, those two go way back. And they were together before they joined Team Alpha Male. And those training clips, at least on Instagram, he looks sharp. The knee looks good.
That's good. That's good to hear, and hopefully we start seeing some more things from him.
Oh, you bet.
Get him back in the octagon. But what was the question again?
What do we do with Jeremy Stevens at this point? What would you like to see from him? Are you still excited from a Jeremy Stevens fight, or should we just put him back in there? And so the only fight he's won is a weigh-in in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the only fight that I'm really interested in seeing with Jeremy Stevens right now is the Drakkar Close fight, because that's just unfinished business. And I mean, if they could make that fight happen, that would be sweet, because that's got some heat to it. I think a lot of people would be invested in that. But I mean, other than that, I think he's at that point in the career where he's just kind of you know, you kind of hate to say it, but he's kind of the journeyman. He's kind of the gatekeeper, and he's not even like he's the gatekeeper of the top 10. He's more like the gatekeeper of almost the top 15, like number 15 maybe.
Yeah, it's tough. I would like to still see him fight to see what he has left, but ultimately, he's kind of in the rough spot. Whether
he's not a fan favorite for sure, but
no.
Well, but I definitely echo what you're saying.
Non-octagon.
I for sure wouldn't mind seeing him fight again, especially against you know guys that are on the up, you know, coming up, guys that maybe are a little newer to the UFC, or maybe guys that aren't as good, just to see can he still supply us those highlight reel finishes. That'd be sweet to see.
Well, we could see him in almost a, I would say maybe like a Andre Arlovski kind of role, where Arlovski doesn't have nearly as bad of a recent record, but he's a non-top 15 fighter, close to the top 15, that's been fighting the new guys that either have to wait a little longer to get into that top 15, or are able to beat him and be able to make it into the rankings. So I think there's a good comparison there, and I still enjoy seeing...
But Arlovski's still in the top 10, right? Top 10, 15?
Andre Arlovski is not ranked.
Not ranked anymore? I thought he was ranked pretty recently.
I think earlier this year he might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, because Stevens, he's not a ranked fighter right now.
No, they're kind of the same position. Also, if you lose 5 fights in a row, please don't be ranked.
Right. Yeah.
That goes without
unless you're McGregor.
Damn. Oh, isn't that way too true, man? I really had to bring me back down with that one. But the next fight was the co-main event, and this is really great to see Misha Tate make a return, because she suffered a couple tough losses on her way out of the promotion. It was against Amanda Nunes, and then it was against Nicole Pennington, 2 tough opponents. But just from watching this fight, Blake, would you think that she's been out for almost 5 years?
Not. I mean, did she look like the best? No. But did she look really, really good for someone that hasn't been? I mean, what was it, like 1,609 days or some crazy number like that? I can't remember the exact number, but it was 5 years since 2016, I want to say. That's insanity, dude. She looked like she hasn't missed a beat for the most part. Does she have some things she could definitely clean up and hopefully improves on if she does consider herself in her mind, you know, the top contender and going towards that goal of obtaining the belt, you know, putting that around her waist? Yeah, man, she needs to clean up a few things. She needs to sharpen some tools. But saying all that, that was a great performance. She went out there, beat an opponent that people thought she was going to beat, that she was the favorite in.
Got
her
she did first
TKO
in her career too, which is crazy.
Yeah, she looked great on the ground. She looked like a savage, man. Oh, man, I love the ground and pound.
We're both suckers for a little bit of GNP, man.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the most effective. Shout out Habib, you know, like that's one of his big parts of his game. You got a good ground and pound game, and you can also take people down to the mat. Like that's a great combination. Obviously, I mean it's just
in her
simple.
prime. I mean, Misha Tate was a fantastic wrestler and grappler. She get you down to the mat, and there wasn't a whole lot you could do there. And so this was great, not only to see her, because obviously when she left the promotion originally, there was a lot of stuff going on outside of the octagon, which is never great, but luckily that's been put behind her. Now she can focus once again on MMA, and she looked great, and she's a fantastic addition to this bantamweight division, which is somewhat lacking in real contenders for Amanda Nunes. So let's take a look at what might be next for her, because we all know how the women's divisions work in the UFC. If you get wins push you up the rankings way more than in any other of the men's divisions. I mean, that's a fact. You can win a top 15 fight, you can win like a fight where you're ranked 11 to 15, and then you be put into top 5 the next time. It's just how it works. So, with that being said, how far up would you rank Misha Tate at this point? And obviously she's going to be coming for Amanda Nunes' belt and try to avenge that loss. So Will she ever be able to get this rematch? And if so, how long do you think it would take her?
I mean, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, Holly Holm called her out over the weekend, right?
I think I
Misha
saw
Tate.
something with Holly
I'm
Holm,
pretty sure Holly called out Miesha over the weekend,
which isn't bad.
and that's great because Holly wants to avenge that loss, right?
Mhm.
Holly lost her championship belt to Miesha. Holly beats Miesha. She solidifies herself. She's probably going to get how many times? She's only fought once, right, against Amanda.
Sorry, who are you referring to?
Holly Holm.
Holly Holm. Yeah, she has fought Amanda Nunes once.
Yeah, she could get a rematch if she beat Miesha. I think like really that could damn near be the title eliminator between her.
It could be
and
an
Holly
everyone
Holm.
contender, man.
Like straight up, if that fight got signed, and then you know what I wouldn't mind seeing if that got signed, I wouldn't mind seeing Aldana versus Jermaine Durandamy. And that would be like, you know, the for sure number one contender after that.
Yes.
Because that would show us as long as Aldana makes weight, you know.
Well, just don't menstruate that week, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, man.
You gotta hit it on your cycle, I guess, or off your cycle. I don't know how to.
You gotta time the date right. You gotta time the fight date right, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a trash situation to be in. That's just unlucky.
But yeah, I mean, I love those two fights. I think Holm versus Misha Tate, that's fire. That's a rematch. You can definitely build that up pretty. Yeah, you could damn near have them headline, really, like a fight night.
That could headline the fight night.
That'd be sweet.
That's not bad, but for Misha Tate, do you think she should be put in this position where she's a win away from a title shot? Is that realistic?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much better she's going to get, you know. And that's not like taking a slide at her. It's just saying, like, she's been out for 5 years. I'm sure she, you know, started training really hardcore at a certain point, knowing that she was going to make a comeback. So it's not like I don't think she just started getting back into MMA.
No.
I would hope not, at least.
She's been.
So I mean, why waste time if you're as good as you think you are? Go in there, get a good win against Holly Holm, who's definitely gonna challenge you and gonna get you ready, and then go try your heart out against Amanda Nunes again. See what happens.
I love that mindset, man. If we want to get to business, let's just get to business and get things rocking and rolling.
Because all those fights will still be there after the Nunes fight. Like get that, get those big fights while you're still younger.
And then if you want to look at it though too, ultimately the whole point of this is to get Amanda Nunes a contender for the belt, or for most of the time
or just a good fight.
We want to stop giving her victims and we want to give her opponents. You know what I'm saying? We want to give her something, and I know for a fact Misha Tate is better than at least 10 of these top 15 fighters in the women's bantamweight division. She's a better competition for Amanda Nunes than all those fighters. And honestly, I mean, if you look at the top 5, Juliana Pena, Irina Aldana, Aspen Ladd, Holly Holm, Jermaine Durandamy, and honestly, besides maybe Jermaine Durandamy, but at least Holly Holm, Misha Tate's a better challenger for that belt than any one of these women. I guess we'll see from Aspen Ladd once we get to her.
Aldana, though, dude.
She beat up on Yana, but she also came in overweight, and I don't want to disrespect Yana like that, but she...
But, man, those hands, though, dude, you can't... You know,
they were
like that's the one thing is like Aldana's hands are on another level than I feel like the only other person that's maybe close to her level in striking is probably Holly.
Yeah,
and I still don't even think like Holly's hands are like it's more like her kicks.
It's definitely her kicks and her kickboxing. But if
Aldana has some slick striking,
if anyone could neutralize that striking, it's probably someone like Misha Tate though.
True, but I'm just saying it's
you know,
besides Durandamy, I would say like that's probably the biggest strike, and obviously Cyborg.
I like Aldana more than Jermaine Durandamy. Actually,
that's a good. I think that's a good future match. Like there's two possible good matchups. I don't know. Misha Tate's hands didn't give me enough to like really believe that she's gonna be able to have enough to really challenge Nunes, but we'll see, man. I don't know. It just didn't look as crisp as I really think it should to give her a challenge.
Yeah. I like it though, and I'm so glad Misha Tate's back. We get some real competition and some really great fights that we should be able to look forward to in the somewhat struggling women's bantamweight division. But of course, that's going to take us to the main event of the evening, which was Islam Makhachev versus Chiago Moises. And even though Moises got mauled in this fight, I still want to at least congratulate him on accepting a fight with Makachev, because even that seems to be a real achievement at this point in time, according to, if we are to believe all the reports of how many fighters have turned down a fight with Islam. But ultimately, this fight went as expected. It was just, shut down, ground game, ended the game, the rear naked choke around 4. He now extends his winning streak to 8, which is second longest in the lightweights, only behind Oliveira's with 9 in a row. And this, there wasn't really too much to talk about from the fight. Everything went as expected. There was nothing super notable besides the fact that Makachev is just the real freaking deal. But one of the things, let's take a look at his ceiling real quick. So right now, it's going to be a few-pronged question. Is he a top 5 fighter? Where would you rank him? And could he? What would it look like if he challenged for? If he hypothetically challenged Charles Oliveira for the belt right now? And then also, we have the Khabib kind of correlations here. We have the comparisons. This is going to happen if he's the same style fighter from the same part of the world with Khabib as his coach. So what do you think about those comparisons? Maybe let's ask this question first. What do you think about the Khabib comparisons, and is it an okay one to make?
Yeah, he's basically grown up with Khabib. He got coached by Khabib's father. He was, they were on the same, teams growing up. Yeah, I think that's a very fair comparison. You look at the game plan that he's been imposing against his opponents. It's pressure wrestling based with the Dagestani handcuffs, as Michael Bisping refers to him as. He has great submissions, arm bars, choke holds, whatever you need. And the one thing that is different about him compared to Khabib, I think a little bit, is he seems a little more fluid with his striking. Yes. Seems a little less hesitant, I think. Well, maybe not hesitant, but just a little more willing to just stand and trade for a sec.
Right. Khabib would never get caught standing and trading, even though he probably could, and his chin probably could hold it. We saw how well he
against certain opponents. He would, like, the Ally Quintas, but yes, against like a McGregor, against a Gaethje, against. Well, he kind of stood against Gaethje. He kind of stood.
His chin was the most proof against Gaethje, and we never saw his chin really get tested, but it passed against Gaethje, definitely. Which is scary. But Makachev is definitely a little. You're more scared about him on the feet than you would be against a Khabib type guy. But they're both just extremely lethal on the ground. It's so scary, and the pressure.
They're just so good. They're so it's just they know what to do in every position because they've been there a billion times against not only humans but bears, apparently. So, what are you gonna do against those freaking crazies?
Cold rivers against the current.
Yeah, come on, man. We need to get some anti-Khabib stuff out here. Someone needs to learn how to freaking beat these Dagestan guys, because it's gonna get crazy. The coach Khabib's undefeated right now. What are you guys gonna do?
5-0, man. 5-0. Not only is he undefeated, but he also is one of the best hosts ever. As in the post-fight interview, Makachev saying that Khabib paid for a house, cars, food, the camp, covered all this stuff, and so Coach Khabib, man. He's a real legend. I
saw some trolls online too.
Oh boy,
the Kevin Holland fight does not count. Okay, that does not count against Coach Khabib's record. He was not coaching him. He was just giving him advice. He was a ringside advisor.
He was really even giving him advice.
I know. He was kind of just laughing and pointing at him.
And recording 4K, brother.
He was giving him advice. He said focus on the fight.
Oh yeah,
so,
that counts.
Ringside advisor, I would say.
That was one of the funniest moments, man. That was so good. We need to ship Kevin Holland to Dagestan pronto, man. I swear.
I think he's probably gotten a little bit of time with Habib.
Probably he's right? been with ATA.
AKA.
I'm sorry, excuse me, AKA. Man,
how dare you?
I know two totally.
Well, Dagestani's gonna come after you, bro.
They're going. I think I'd rather fight the bear that they were wrestling with instead of one of them, actually.
Well, yeah, I think the bear is like a cub, so
Sure.
if it was equal size bear,
I might
yes,
have a chance.
I would fight that.
Might have a chance instead. It's whether you want to get mauled by a bear or mauled by a Dagestani. I don't know which one's worse. Also, I don't know if you caught it, but before we get to our lightweight matchmaking, have you seen the drama playing? I'll put it in quotes. The drama playing out between Makachev and Dan Hooker on Twitter.
I've seen pieces. I saw Dan Hooker call him out again, and then I saw Makachev say that he's unworthy, like he's lost like two something fights in a row.
And then the most recent tweet from Dan Hooker was, he said, "Scared, haha, check the timeline. I went to war with Felder and Poirier while you were chirping. Both make your fight Saturday look like a tickle party. If you have a problem, we can fight September."
Make your fight look like a tickle party. If you have a problem, we can fight September. Oh my god, dude, that's
tweet.
crazy.
What a tweet.
That's yeah. 10-8 round for Hooker on Twitter.
Oh, I love that. I swear he must have went to the Chael Sonnen show of tweet or the school of tweeting, man.
I think they got banter over there. And is he an Aussie or is he New Zealand?
He's New Zealand.
Both.
I mean,
they both do.
That neck of the woods. They're both. I mean, both Aussies, both the Kiwis.
Tai Tuivasa, you know.
I mean, they know how. I mean, Robert Whittaker.
Izzy.
All of those guys. I mean, both countries. They know how to talk some smack, and Dan Hooker puts a smack down on some Twitter. So I love that drama. Is that the fight to make? No, but we're going to tell you the fights to make. But of course,
I'd still be down though.
Oh,
you could definitely with what we're going to say. You could definitely switch out what we're going to pick with Hooker and would not be mad at all.
Oh, no. Honestly, with any of these 8 names we're going to give you.
Because I think Hooker's the odd man out, right, from what we picked?
No, I do have a fight for Hooker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do have a fight for Hooker.
That?
Yeah, and so, I mean, the top 8 really is I have 8 fighters that we can go with, so it's going to be good. Really, the only guys that I don't have a fight for from this in the lightweight division would be Tony Ferguson and Conor McGregor, but maybe just have them fight each other. I don't care at this point.
Oh, no, that's right. I remember the fight we picked for Hooker now.
Yes, sir. Hey, it was a good one. We had a good time doing some brainstorming on the Twitter DMs. But Islam, he did call out Tony Ferguson and RD after the fight, and then Dana does want to give him Beneil Dariush. So,
Benny boy.
Which would be a great fight, man. Would be great.
I think it would be a competitive fight for
Dariush
sure.
is a guy that could be a stand-in fighter for.
It just sucks for Benny because
dude,
he's such a good guy, and you're going to give him Islam.
That's
Damn,
so
dude.
messed up, man.
Right when he gets his number, right when he's on his winning
Tesla.
streak, right when he gets his Tesla, he's not even going to get a chance to get the title. So, I mean, sorry, he might win. He might win.
Yeah, he might win,
honestly. If he did win, that would be dope. I'd be super happy for him. So.
Yeah. But see, there's a couple of other fights I might prefer for Islam Makhachev, but Dana White is probably going to get what he wants in this one. So I'm going to assume that we're going to get Islam versus Dariush. And then obviously, the title fight, Blake, it's going to be Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. I mean, who else but that? And then, please, MMA gods, I will pray to all of you. Just let's get Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. It's so easy. It's so easy.
That would be a hell of a fight.
Oh, someone's getting murdered. Also, speaking of Michael Chandler real quick, he did fantastic on the commentary desk for the UFC this weekend. I thought he was really well in that position.
He did well.
He's a very well-spoken guy. Also looks great in a suit. So hats off to him. Then we had that Islam Dariush fight. And then you're saying, oh man, that might be Dan Hooker. But give us Dan Hooker versus RDA. Book it. Book those 4 fights. Book those 4 fights and get us all the money.
I'm just checking right now, making sure that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, yeah. What's up? I did think I saw it.
It has not happened. It doesn't look like.
See? 4 new fights. 4 fantastic fights. I swear, Sean Shelby, give me a job. Please. I will do a lot of things for that job. I will not mention them on the show. Because I have dignity still.
Yeah, has not happened. So, super dope. Yeah.
What do you think?
What's
the best fight out of all of these?
Out of the ones that we just listed?
Yeah.
If those all happened, man,
Dude, all 4 of them could be fight of the years.
I think
it's insane.
I think just off of straight up just saying it out loud, Gaethje versus Chandler probably gets me the most pumped up. But if you really sit down and think about it, Poirier and Oliveira is going to be such a high level fight. It's it's just going to be interesting to see how it plays out, and if it really does go down, I hope it does.
It better go down, man.
Never know. But yeah, I think it has to be between those 2 fights. RDA Hooker is amazing. And then Dariush versus Makachev, that's just going to be a chess match. So I don't think it's going to be a fight of the year, but it could end up being one of like the most competitive fights of all time.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Obviously either guy that wins that fight gets the title shot, presumably,
Most likely.
or
number one contender.
Yes, or another scenario that you could look at that is that you have the winner of Chandler versus Gaethje fight the winner of Makachev and Dariush, and then you have the losers fight the losers in that one. And if you go that route, that's not bad either.
I think it's more likely the winner of Gaethje and Chandler would fight for the belt. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of tough too, because if Chandler won, I don't know,
man. Styles makes fights, and
I don't know. It's a tough one.
It would be a tough one. And that's why I'm glad I don't have this problem. But if you want these fights, I can make them. So let us know what you guys think about that stuff, because obviously these would be so much fun to put together. And then I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But real quick, before we get to UFC Vegas 32 and, of course, the Blake's bangers and our predictions for that main event.
Which, let's just say, the Blake's bangers lately, they've
been hidden.
I don't think I've missed on a fight for maybe a month and a half, 2 months.
No, I'm telling you, the last 2 months, unless the fight has been canceled or scrapped, you've hit, Blake. You've hit. So first,
and not only am I hitting, it's like they're a good fight, but they are the best fights on the card for the most part.
Blake,
so just want to give myself a pat on the back. You guys need to listen to me. Watch those fights.
You're so good. You're so good at this stuff.
I'm also the Suck My Pick title holder, so remember that.
You are, unfortunately, and you still have the record for most consecutive title defenses. So I guess there's a reason I picked you to be our UFC correspondent, Blake. You're welcome. Or good job, Ross. I'm so good at scouting talent. Pat on my back.
You all right. You all right.
I'll turn this one to me. But just want to give our thoughts on, just real quick on Tough. The return of Tough, Season 29, Episode 7. We had I would say, the best fight of the season so far. Maybe the one in Episode 6. That one, it's definitely between 6 or 7. Hands down. I think it's safe to say. But Brady Heisen and Josh Reddinghouse put on a show. And all I got to say is that this decision was not good. I didn't like it, Blake. What about you?
Yeah, I really thought Josh got it. I thought Josh Reddinghouse got the fight. He looked more dangerous. He looked like he was clearly put more damage on Brady.
Yes.
So
and the only damage that Reddinghouse suffered was from a headbutt.
A head clash.
Inadvertent head clash.
Yeah, and that was a huge cut. Gnarly cut.
Oh, that was a deep cut.
But yeah, I don't understand how they gave Brady that fight. It was kind of just, it just sucked, man.
That's what preface. It's not like if we have anything against Brady Heisen.
No.
It's not like we're mad.
Well, that's kind of the cool thing about this season of Tough is I'm almost rooting for everybody, because almost everyone besides
I don't hate him.
Besides Raposo, he's kind of annoying, dude.
He's but really,
I'm
like
rooting for everyone.
Yeah.
Even Reddinghouse, I kind of thought he was a little, not to sound like a D-bag, but I thought he was a little weird coming into this episode.
He looked almost douchey, but on the edge of douchey after the fight.
Dude, he surprised the absolute shit out of me. Yeah. That guy can fight. His uppercut, his counter uppercut was just insane.
So good. But these last 2 fights, they belong. If you put these on a fight on a main card if you put them on the main card for a fight night, I don't think they'd be out of place.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Hey, or a pay-per-view prelim. These would look great. These would be Blake's bangers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely Ricky versus Dan, and definitely this fight. These last, like you said, these last 2 weeks have been awesome.
It's so good, and although the drama and all the inside the tough house stuff might not be there, the fights have been great. I think as a season, in terms of just fights, this is top 5 season already. You know, they've been so good. So if you're just looking forward to the fights, it's been a really good season of tough, and I've really been enjoying it. I don't watch it on Tuesday nights when it comes out because the ESPN streaming app blows, and I hate ESPN. So I just watch it the morning after. So
I think it comes out super late when
it comes out 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Mountain sorry, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time.
6 for me, yeah.
Yeah, then 9 o'clock.
Which was
Eastern.
dumb. I was hella mad the first week it came out. I was like, damn, this isn't even already up when I got home from work.
Right, so I just watch it in the morning. You know, it's a good time for me. So, but
it's a good time for me.
It's a good time for me, Blake. And what else is going to be a good time for all of us is UFC Fight Night, Sanhagen versus Dillashaw, UFC Vegas 32. Oh boy, I'm so pumped. Before we get to Blake's Bangers, there's a lot of fights that you want to shout in here. I mean, guys like Andre Ewell and Julio Arce. You got, unfortunately, the Dawkins fight got bumped to next card on UFC Vegas 33. I was really looking forward to that. Then there's some other stuff. It's really important for the women's divisions because you have 2 prospects in the women's flyweight division between Miranda Maverick and Macy Barber, which is going to be a great fight. Then you have Aspen Ladd and Macy Chison for the women's bantamweight division. Aspen Ladd still the number 3 ranked fighter, and she's had a lengthy layoff due to ACL surgery, and so she's finally making a return to the octagon. Her last fight was on the Overeem versus Roystenstraight card against Yana Kunitsiaka. Sorry, I just butchered the hell of that name. I'm not going to attempt it again. And so that was her last fight in December of 2019. And so it's really great to see her back on this. And then her fight before that was against Jermaine Durandamine, where she suffered that loss. That was a UFC Fight Night 155 Sacramento. That was actually the return card of damn it! How am I forgetting on
Uriah Faber?
Thank you
Gotcha.
so much. I can't believe I was just thinking of blonde-haired butt chin, and I couldn't get the name for a second. No disrespect to the legend, the goat of the guillotine, but I'm excited to see her back because she's a really up and coming prospect in that division as well. And so, but Blake, I need it. Give me the Blake's Bangers and which fights are going to be guaranteed to hit this weekend.
Also, you forgot to say Kyler Phillips versus the Raulian Paiva. That should be a good fight too.
Sorry, yeah.
But other than that, you were nailed it.
Thank you. I was also trying to stay away from the Blake's Bangers too, so I don't step on your toes.
Got you, bro. The bangers this week. We're gonna start with a battle that's been brewing for a while now between 2 fighters that have their favorite junk food, so to say. One being Dr. Pepper, and one, if I'm not mistaken, is Reese's.
It is Reese's Cups.
Just Reese's
also,
Cups.
Just real quick, what would you
specific?
rather have, Blake? A lifetime supply of Dr. Pepper or a lifetime supply of Reese's Cups?
I'd probably go with the Reese's Cups.
Me too.
Because I mean, I wouldn't be eating either of them very often.
Doctor's a good soda.
Drinking/eating.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper's a good soda. I'm more of a chocolate guy than soda guy.
Yeah, but I just don't need a lifetime supply of soda, though. That's just not what I need.
That's
If I have
fine.
Reese's, like, dude, girls love chocolate and peanut butter. I can give those out all the time.
Hey, lifetime
what's
supply
up?
of proper number 12, though?
I got the Reese's on deck, ladies. Come over. But Dr. Pepper, it's like,
You need to
that's
stop.
that's kind of for fat people almost.
Well,
No
but-
offense.
Hey,
I'm
but
fat
honestly,
too, so don't worry about it.
The diet, my girlfriend loves these. The diet cream Dr. Peppers were very good. I will say that.
I'll take your word for it.
I love a good cream soda. Also, cherry Dr. Pepper is pretty good too.
I agree. I'm not saying it's a bad soda. I'm just saying if you're offering lifetime supplies, I'm gonna go with the Reese's peanut butter
Give me
cups.
those.
instead
Also,
of that.
Reese's Pieces are better than M&M's. Don't at me. Oh.
That's tough, dude.
But not-
That's a
but
tough
not
one.
Normal M&Ms, but those peanut
See-
M&Ms, or sorry, not the peanut, but the pretzel M&Ms, are so good.
M&M's has such, you'd have to limit it to like one flavor of M&M's, and let's just say like if it was milk chocolate M&M's, like just the regular M&M's versus
normal milk chocolate M&M's,
Reese's
normal
Pieces
size against Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, then if we're just doing one bag, if we're doing one bag,
yes,
I'm gonna do Reese's Pieces. But if you're saying that, you know, I could only choose one for the rest of my life, I'm probably gonna choose M&M's. Honestly,
that's fair. I think
I don't get tired of M&M's, bro. Reese's Pieces, I get tired after one bag. I'm like, oh, that's so.
They're a little more sugary.
Really sugary.
But I haven't had either for a while. But all I know is I love the pretzel M&M's. Oh, they're so good. Also, I just want to say Thin Mints are underrated. Thank you very much. But let's get away from the food into the fights.
Yes, so back to what we were talking about. Blake's bangers, of course. I'm going to go with Yanez versus Costa. I forget what. Adrian Yanez versus Randy Costa, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay. I could not remember that one dude's name. Next fight. So those are the two guys I was telling you about. Dr. Pepper versus Reese's Pieces, or Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Next fight, we're going to do, God, I'm going to butcher this. Punalele Soriano, I'm so sorry.
Hey, let's know who's worse at pronouncing names, us or Chael Sonnen.
What's his nickname? Can you look that up really quick?
Yes, I got you. Let's find this dude's nickname because it might be easier to pronounce, right?
I hope so.
Puna.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what I was looking.
Yeah.
I was thinking. Who am I thinking of with coconut bombs?
Coconut bombs. Oh, who are you thinking?
Who is that?
I don't know. Let's go on an adventure and find this real quick. If I could, spell coconut correctly.
Maki Pitolo.
Yes. That's the one. That's the one.
The guy that has the gauges.
Yes.
He has the tape on his ears.
Yes, and the buff guy too.
Yes.
He's well built. He's a well built human being.
So is Punalele, bro. I need to stop saying his name.
Hey,
Soriano.
Them Hawaiians are built.
But yeah, he's going up against Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen, another specimen, I would say. 25 years old, 6'2".
Holloway weighed 185 pounds. Would he be buff? Do you think he'd be ripped?
I mean, probably not. He has to. I think he.
No, like if he was the size of one of these fighters, if
you'd have to put on some. Well, I mean, I don't know. He's like 5'10".
Yeah.
You're getting us off track, Ross. Relax. What are you talking about here? Let's get the bangers listed. Soriano versus Allen, Randy Costa versus Adrian Yanez, and last but not least, we're gonna go. Oh shoot, I lost it.
Unbelievable. Yeah, look at me getting off track, man. You came.
Elkins,
you're not even on track.
How could I forget? Darren Elkins versus Minner.
Derek Minner. Of course, Derek Minner. If you go back a little bit in our length of interviews, we do have an interview with him, a really good one. So I would go check that out.
Yeah, and I mean the reason I'm choosing Darren Elkins and Minner's kind of I want to say he's only been in the UFC for about 3 fights, right?
Yeah.
He's fairly new.
He's a fresher guy onto that.
He's had a couple nice performances in a row though. But
Solid.
Darren Elkins, what's his nickname?
The Damage.
Does he? Yes, or true or false? He has it tattooed on him.
He has one of the ugliest tattoos I've ever seen on him, but
it does say the Damage.
It does say the Damage, and also I do say, if I ever saw him in person, I would say it's the greatest tattoo I've ever seen. Please don't hurt me.
Well, I think he kind of made it ugly on purpose, though, don't you think?
It's a bit of a meme at this point. It's one of those meme tattoos. So speaking of meme tattoos, Blake, we're going to get off topic again, but Sugar Sean O'Malley with the 6'9" tattoo on him. Get your boy, Blake. That is awful. Why? Why do we do this?
Dude, it's funny, bro. I like it.
It's so bad.
It's whatever.
I think with people get so upset. Too, it's so...
People get so like, look at you getting upset. Like,
I just think it's
they're
funny.
Boys. They're boys. Yeah. Do I think it is a little sus? You got 6'9" tatted on him. A little sus, but I mean, when you think about it, it literally is just 2 fucking numbers tatted on his body. It doesn't mean anything. Not to mention, it's gonna get so many people talking about it. So,
dude, I'm sure those impressions are already blown up. He probably already has.
He's on a. You know, like what they were hanging out for, right? Like Sugar Sean was with Steve Will Do It. Are you familiar with the Nelk Boys?
Oh, yeah.
So there's going to be a fat vlog coming out probably with him, 6'9".
Hey,
Sugar
just
Sean.
imagine all the new Twitch followers, subscribers he's going to get, man.
because Sean's, I think he has a couple thousand followers on Twitch, but yeah, dude.
Is it followers or subscribers?
Subscribers, yeah.
Subscribers on Twitch. I'm not.
I'm not too sure because I don't really. Use
he has
Twitch
people
like that
pay to watch him.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's different than what we do.
Maybe for better video games or just like to be potheads with colorful hair. I will never get to that point in my life, so
I just need to start chugging beers every time we record, bro.
Blake, 3 shots of proper 12 down the hatch before.
My analysis would be I don't even know what I would do. I'd probably just start saying ridiculous stuff.
Bitch.
Like, he's a pussy. I have all these fighters in my DMs like, hey, what's going on here, pal?
You gonna be like Paul Felder.
I thought you wanted to interview me. You just insulted me. What's going on?
What's going on? This is when you gotta get drunk and insult them on camera. Even better. Yeah, but I mean, a very roundabout way of getting our Blake Spangers out, but there we go. And then, just real quick, let's cap things off, besides your Nene of the Week, of course. Predictions for Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. And who do you have in this one? Also, I mean, just a couple questions. Will the winner have to wait for Aljo and Jan to run it back before they can actually fight? Do you think there's going to be a little bit of delay in that? And also, I mean, TJ will never get the fans back on his side. I hate that bum. And Blake pointed out, he looks like such a douchebag in the fighter poster, and I hate him. I hate him so much. Connor was right. There's a snake in the grass, and it's TJ, the CEO of EPO.
Did you see he was on Brendan Schaub's Food Truck Diaries with his clean juice food truck?
Yes, that was one of the most ironic things I've seen in my life, Blake.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Mystic Mac. He predicts fights, and he predicts traitors.
Dude, McGregor was really on fire back then. He was calling everything.
That was peak McGregor, dude. He was so good. But predictions, Blake. Let's get it. Who wins?
I'm gonna go Corey. Method? I'm gonna go Corey by probably 4th round TKO.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, Corey Sandhagen. I love the prediction, Blake. Give me that 2nd round ass whooping by Corey Sandhagen. I want him to put TJ out quick. And I don't really want to see TJ in the octagon again, to be honest. I hate this fool. And I don't think he deserves a second chance. Because EPO is some really serious performance-enhancing stuff, man. Like, and also that little documentary where, like, oh yeah, my manager called me and said, I got a call from the UFC and my stomach just dropped. It's like, dude, you knew you were cheating.
Yeah, like,
you knew you were cheating. Don't be surprised.
They got to make a story, you know.
Right, don't be surprised. You saw they got John Jones. They got for those pictograms. They're going to get you for EPO.
Yeah. Eventually, at least.
Oh, man, right. You saw them, man. They're going to get you, whether it be at 8 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the morning on fight day. They're going to get you, and they're going to get their piss sample. It's just is what it is.
And blood. Piss and blood.
Piss and blood, man. But... Also, let's cap things off here, ladies and gentlemen, with the Nene of the Week. I feel like we've gone off topic enough this show, where it's about damn time we get to this segment. And this is going to Greg Hardy, because if you saw and you can look at what we retweeted on at Fourth Long Radio on our Twitter page. If you saw what Taito Ivasa was putting up on Instagram about Greg Hardy. You almost feel bad for Greg, but a lot of stuff.
Until you remember that he beats women up and throws them on assault rifles.
Exactly. So then you.
I kind of had to be reminded of that. I was like,
yeah.
I'm not feeling bad for Greg Hardy. Oh wait, never
He's
mind.
a woman abuser. I don't feel bad for him, but I don't think this is English. I might get a stroke reading this, but I'm going to read the captions for a couple of these. Bam Bam Taito Ivasa said. At Greg Hardy Jr., chicken dance, bruh. Haha, I'm gonna leave this here and let you think about some things, okay? Or I'll come there and smack your other eye, you eye guy. And then a bunch of laughing face emojis. Talk too much, end up on your back. I am a man, I hit you back, oos. Hashtag bam bam. And then the other one, another picture of him whooping his ass, he added DJ Khaled. And said the chicken emoji and the dance emoji. So more chicken dance there. Then he posted a Greg Hardy's jacked up face after the fight and said, "Okay, I'm putting my phone away now, but don't talk shit after I already fucked you up. Can meet up whenever, wherever, my bread. Hashtag Bam Bam."
Get nay-nayed.
Go and get your ass knocked out hard. Go and get your head bounced off the canvas, and then you're going to have Tai Tuivasa make fun of you on Twitter a week later.
Yeah.
Or on Instagram.
Rough life.
That's so great to me. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it for us on this very eventful UFC talk. One of the most off-topic ones, but still on topic at the same time that we've had in almost forever. But we really do appreciate you sticking with us until the end. And just a quick shout out to our Patreon supporters over on patreon.com. You can go over there, patreon.com/4thandlong. Help Blake get his first paycheck ever. We're still grinding, and we're getting closer by the day with the help from you beautiful people for not only tuning in, but helping go a little extra step further and donating. You can become a patron just for $1 a month. And you can use a $5 tier and $10 tier. And each tier gets you bonus content and a bunch of bonus stuff. And the more you donate, the more you get. So once again, you go on over to patreon.com/4thandlong. And a thank you to our patrons today goes to at the Big Bat Box for all your card collecting needs. Thank you so much for Ray Rodriguez and his patronage. Shout out to Ryan Watson and Neil Wiley. But Blake, your thoughts on TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen in one word or phrase?
Man, I don't know. That's tough, dude. I want to say something clever.
Every week.
I want to say something clever about something, like keep your grass cut short or something. Get rid of those snakes. But I can't come up with anything clever. So I just hope that I hope Corey beats his ass for using steroids.
We'll just say don't cheat, or you get beat.
Cheaters never prosper.
No, Blake, don't cheat or you get beat.
I think cheaters never prosper.
No, that one's basic.
Much more known.
Mine rhymes, though.
Mine rhymes too. Cheaters
Mine's
never prosper.
original. Mine's
Doesn't
original.
rhyme?
That doesn't
I think it rhymes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in the next episode, okay?